Hi, and welcome to Two Tired Teachers.
Today we want to talk to you about the advantages of smaller RVs. We have a Winnebago Micro Minnie FBS 2106 FBS, and if you're curious about that particular RV, we made a walkthrough video when we first had received it, and we made a video about renovations that we've had done to it, and then we made a video about the 1-year review of our Micro Minnie. And bottom line is, we couldn't have found anything that suits us any better.
No.
And I would say the biggest advantage is we have all of the room we need, but we don't have the wasted space that we had with the 29-foot fifth wheel that we had.
Sure, and that's right. We carried a lot of stuff we never used. We don't do that with this one. We're careful about what we carry. We have plenty of room, but we are careful.
But not only that, the pantry, even though it's a lot smaller, is actually more usable.
Yes.
So much of the pantry in that fifth wheel was so high you just couldn't get to it.
Yeah. You had to have some kind of a stepladder or stand on the stairs and kind of...
Yeah, it was, but there were just kind of some wasted spaces in that.
Yes.
And so being more compact has been a great advantage. Let's talk about where we are right now.
Okay. Right now we're in Abilene State Park, and they have sites that are for rigs that are 25 feet and less.
This little loop is for smaller rigs, and then there are a few just tent sites. But this loop is $5 less per night than the other loops. And, we're here 4 nights.
And the sites are gorgeous.
Yeah, we'll show you. We've got a huge site here. I mean, let me go in and do that for you while we're talking about it. You can see we've got a massive site. And then room to park in front of it. So
Sharon could have parked beside.
Yeah, we could have easily done that, but this is a great site, and we're only paying $15 a night for water and electric here.
And one of the nights, $7.50
because we have the park pass discount. And so that's looking at. Last night we were at San Angelo State Park in a massive pull-through site that was at least 75 feet long. I think it was longer. The person across the street from us had a large truck that towed a fifth wheel, that towed a boat, and then they had another car parked there, and they had extra room. So they were massive pull-through sites. But we could fit in that site. We can fit in this site. That's a huge advantage of a smaller RV.
And we have been places where we couldn't have stayed at that particular park if we'd had a big RV. I'm thinking of Meeman Shelby for one.
Yeah, we did stay there when we had the 29-foot fifth wheel, but that was the outside edge.
And it was tight.
And there is not a parking lot in the campground. There is not. Your entire rig with your tow vehicle, you have to fit in that site. Even at the restroom, there is not a parking lot. And so it's 1.5 miles, 2 miles over to a parking lot. So there are places that you just can't fit. Another advantage to the smaller RV is simply negotiating.
When Sharon gets ready to fill up with gas,
I can pull in almost any gas station.
Yes.
You're towing, so you want to be careful, but there are some places that if you have a longer rig, you have to find those stations that are going to let you angle through, things like that, because it's just almost ridiculous. Then dump stations. You're talking about an RV, you're going to have to dump the tanks. This morning, we were able to, the dump station had room on both sides. Well, the side that was going, as you're going out, was full, so I had a smaller rig. I could easily go make the U-turn and come going the other direction. It's a small rig. it was no problem to do that. Larger rigs, those kinds of
They
maneuvers
cannot do it.
are much more difficult. Construction zones.
That one is a biggie. I'll tell you right up front, I drive a Kia Soul. I don't like being when there are cement barriers on either side. I see 18-wheelers going by. I know my Soul will do it, but I don't like it.
But I tell you what, it was one of those things when we were looking for this particular RV, there were several that were very, very similar
Yes.
floor plans, and some of them less expensive. But I kept coming back to the fact that the Winnebago was 7 feet wide. And having towed a fifth wheel
That was 8.
3 years, something,
Yes.
I'd towed it a number of years. I'd gone through those construction zones, and I kept coming back to, I think having 7 feet wide would really make a difference. I am so glad
Yes.
that I stuck to my guns there, because it makes it easier to maneuver when you're getting in a site. You have more places where you can get it. It makes it so much easier going through those construction zones, those tighter bridges, things like that. And so if you're new to RVing and you go to the RV shows, those massive ones with 5 slides,
And fireplaces.
And-
yes.
you know, if you're going to be living in it, then maybe that is something that's going to be important to you.
We saw one with a man cave. It was a separate room.
We're not actually, we hope we're not being shot at. I'm assuming there's a firing range near here. But we love the fact that ours has a slide.
Yes.
The slide is, I believe this, it's like 18 inches maybe. So I
It
always,
makes a huge difference on the inside.
and I always figure that there are some RVs that are made that are 8.5 feet wide. So technically ours with the slide out is no wider than those.
Right.
But just having the one slide and it not being a 4-foot slide, when we're parking, we really don't have to worry about that.
No.
And it's one less thing to worry about. Heating and cooling
Man, this morning
was chilly.
it was chilly.
It was really chilly.
And
We had a small space heater, got it out, and it knocked that chill off in no time.
yes, I mean, before long we were going, better put the space heater up.
And same thing is true. We live in Texas, and so there have been a number of times we've gotten to a site, and it's hot. It's really hot. Well, it's a small RV. As soon as we turn the AC on, the temperature automatically just starts dropping. Whereas if you have the larger rigs with carpet, upholstery, a lot of stuff like that that soaks in that heat, they're
takes a
larger
while.
surfaces, it's a larger area, it's going to take a lot longer to either heat up or cool down. And so, like I said, if you're looking for your first RV and you're thinking you want all of the comforts of home, there's another side to it.
Yes,
Those are, it's more difficult to tow.
they're
It's-
much more expensive.
And then you're limited to what vehicles can tow them as
Yes.
well. The larger the RV, the larger the vehicle you need to tow it with. We tow with the van because we wanted the space in the van.
Yes.
And we are thrilled with it. But we just want you to know there's more than one side to having those huge RVs. This is a perfect size for us. Smaller, I think we would feel like we were claustrophobic.
Yes.
This has enough room, and
For us and our cat and dog.
yeah, you look at the modifications we made. We put a dog crate in, we put a perch up for the cat. It's comfortable. It is very
Yes.
comfortable. And the other thing is, it has the large bedroom windows and a large window over the couch, and so you do get that feel of being outside. Our fifth wheel, we had a window all the way across the back.
We loved it.
We loved it. I miss it, but it's not.
No,
It's-
it's not worth getting a bigger RV to have a back window to us.
To us, yeah. And so, because we're interested in going to the state parks, the national parks, Corps of Engineer, the smaller rig, a trip that we will look look at going to as soon as we can travel further. One that we want to go to is Yellowstone. Well, those first come, first serve campgrounds, if you have a 50-foot RV, you're not going to find a spot.
No.
And so being smaller just has a lot of advantages. That's our take on it. Let us know what you think about smaller RVs.
Thanks for watching Two Tired Teachers.